From the studios of Blackwater Media in the great city of Atlanta, it's time for another installment of Swamp Chat. I'm your host, Dr. William Lester, and of course we get together every so often to do news, notes, and updates for all things Blackwater Media, as well as some ancillary matters and related issues and concerns. We're into August now, guys, and I don't know how hot it is where you are, but right here in the ATL we have all that we want, and so summer is moving right along. Let's get into there's a few things I want to share with you and update you on the new website, blackwatermedia.net. There are really three stories that I would classify as new, or the newest three, in the VIP lounge for Swamp Hunters Society members. There are a total of 7 stories as of today in the VIP lounge. So for those who have their Swamp Hunters Society premium content membership, get on over there and enjoy those stories. But the 3 newest are the following. One, it's called The Tomorrow Towers, which is a weird time slip situation. The Fluttering of Wings, which is a kind of an alien encounter, if you will. And then the newest one is called Stay Out of the Woods. So you can imagine what the implications are there. So again, a total of 7 premium content stories available now. Those are the newest 3, The Tomorrow Towers, The Fluttering of Wings, and Stay Out of the Woods. Now also, at blackwatermedia.net, there are previews of 4 of the 7 premium content shows that anyone can go up and listen to. So all you do is go to blackwatermedia.net, and on the home page, the front page, just scroll down to where it says previews, and there are 4 previews. My Uncle and the Dog Man, The Summer Garden, That's No Dog Print, and the aforementioned The Fluttering of Wings. So of the 4, 2 are Dogman stories, and the other 2 are other creature encounters. So you can actually preview those 4 stories and click over and get your Swamp Hunter Society premium content membership, $4.99 a month. Now, there's also loads and loads of free content at blackwatermedia.net. Some of the newer content is the Dr. William Lester Show anthologies 1 and 2, which are really fun because I kind of did those like in preparation for Halloween, and I'm basically doing conversations on classic horror films. And so I'm discussing several different classic horror films in these anthologies, and it's several hours of conversation and reviews and talking about all kinds of aspects of these classic horror movies. Also, Shadowland Radio Show anthologies 1 and 2 are there, and again, hours and hours of free content listening for you. There are free content Dark Falls, Historian Almanacs. So again, yes, there is a subscription-based platform in place, but also, yes, there's tons and tons of free content that you should also avail yourself of. I want to talk a little bit about the whole concept of the premium content, of having a membership with Blackwater Media, And the whole thing about the paranormal community, and of course with Blackwater Media, we spill over, of course, into kind of a horror, supernatural, and fantasy aspect, particularly with Darkfall radio show, which is almost always horror or science fiction or fantasy. And even the Historian's Almanac, which of course is a humanities-based show. But backtracking to the paranormal community, there is, I have noticed, over the years, this is not something that's just, popped into my head because of Blackwater Media. But there's this stream of thought that everything should be free. Everything that happens within the paranormal community should have a non-economic factor, should have a non-fiduciary element. It should just be free. Whether it's a book, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a DVD, or, whether it's digital audio entertainment or video entertainment. Well, that's a DVD. But there's this idea that all of these things should be out there for the fans of these genres, for the members of this community. All of these things, these great things, should be out there for the taking. And if you are creating these things, if you are producing these things and putting these things out to the public for sale, if there's a monetary attachment to it, then you must not have the requisite level of ethics. You're in it just, quote, for the money. And this is actually, I know a lot of people will hear this and go, well, I don't think that way, not me. Okay, that's great, not you. But there is a disproportionate number of people who are fans of this genre, people in the paranormal community. Because, I use this term paranormal community, but it's really broken down into a couple of groups. You have creators, the writers, the producers, directors, publishers, on-air personnel. You have, people who are creating content. And then you have fans who are not necessarily, may not even be researchers, but they may be fans, devotees. They may have a high level of interest. It may be a hobby to them or something. And there's this idea that all of this stuff should be free, and that if there's a price attached to it, then you're not genuinely involved in like doing work or doing research or what have you. You're just in it. You're just looking to sell something. And it's very curious because that application or that logic is not present in almost any other field. If you think that person's book should be free, or if you think this other person's DVD should be free, then do you also think that when you go to work next week, you should work for 2 or 3 days strictly on a voluntary basis and refuse any pay? So similarly, to write and edit and publish a book takes a lot of time, effort, know-how. To do a film, to do a radio show, to do a podcast, whatever these things are. If somebody makes an investment to produce, a line of t-shirts or a line of hats or whatever, you can just kind of fill in the blank. Nobody makes an investment for the purpose of being at a loss. And it has nothing to do with their moral compass. It's got to do with mathematics. And the simple fact is, we all need money to live. So I'm kind of addressing this now because I've seen this kind of played out, especially, for example, in the social media. I referenced this a couple of swamp chats ago, and I was so, I guess, put off by it. I didn't have time to sit back and analyze and process it, but it's been several weeks now, and I've had time to kind of, chew on it. Well, when the blackwatermedia.net website first went live, and I was kind of telling people on social media, the Blackwater Media Facebook page and what have you, I had a YouTube subscriber, a person who had been subscribing to the Blackwater Media YouTube channel, which was great. Well, this person sent me a message saying, wow, this new Blackwater Media website is really cool. It's really great. I'm about to join up and get my membership. And I thought to myself, wow, that's really great. So I wrote him back and said, oh, thanks, and look forward to having you on board in the Swamp Hunter Society, right? So about a half hour later, this same individual messaged me again and said, got my membership, ready to go. So I checked my email because, when a person signs up for membership, that information is delivered to the Blackwater Media email account, and I can just access that information and get that person's membership put in place. And I said, I sent a message back, haven't received any notification. I'll keep an eye on the email inbox. This person messages me back. I don't know what happened. I did everything it asked. So I said, okay, well, glitches happen. People make mistakes on these websites. So I explained to this individual, go to blackwatermedia.net, click on the menus on the left, click on the tab that says, get your membership, Swamp Hunter Society, and just go from there. Type in all your information and you're good to go. That individual never contacted me back and has not contacted me since that little exchange occurred. And it dawned on me, this was a person looking to get in the door for nothing, hoping that maybe if they said, I got my membership, that I would just, I don't know, just give them the password, login name. And that's an example of what goes on. If this person thought that Blackwater Media was so cool and so great and everything looked so good, why go through all of that, all of the theatrics over a $4.99 per month subscription fee? Well, the reason why is, if I can get it for free, that's what I'm going to try. But anyway, that's a level of, that's the kind of thing that goes on. Now, I want to pivot over to some similar things that have occurred with the American Institute of Metaphysics. Now, I know some of you know that I established the Institute in 2001. That is more of a research and educational organization. Of course, Blackwater Media is the entertainment and media operation. But the American Institute of Metaphysics focuses on research and education. Well, I can't tell you how many inquiries the Institute gets that asks one of the following things. Do you have any grants? For example, I'll never forget one guy said, do you have any grants available to keep costs down? And I'll get a message saying, do you offer discounts to people who live and they just name the state they live in. Like it's like you get a discount because you live in Arkansas or, Texas. I don't understand that. Okay. So that question comes in. Then, of course, the one that really kind of, will shock your senses is they'll say, do you have any free courses? Right? And over the years with the Institute, I made special moves and adjustments in the operational procedures of it to make it easier for people on a budget, say, for example, who want to study with the Institute, take courses. One of the things I did was to put in place a interest-free monthly payment option. So you could just pay as you go. Right? And not charge interest. Most educational organizations, most schools don't let you do that interest-free. They'll give you a student loan with a crazy, interest rate. Right? Secondarily, I created the Howard Thurman Memorial Scholarship for Metaphysical Studies, which is a scholarship for a specific set of programs, which chops off a significant amount of money right off the top of the tuition rate. It's a great opportunity. It's a scholarship. It's not a loan. It's not something you ever have to pay back. Then, last year, or earlier this year, I put into place a series of what I call mini courses, which are kind of smaller, more condensed versions of pre-existing Institute courses at a remarkably reduced price point, which would allow a person to come in and get a sample, get an example, get an idea of how the curriculum works at a ridiculously low price. And I mean ridiculous. Obviously, if you listen, go to AmericanInstituteOfMetaphysics.com and look at the mini courses and look at the scholarship page, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But many people who are interested in these topics, which of course now we're talking about the paranormal metaphysics, many people who are interested in these topics are still looking to get free stuff. Except when they go to the supermarket, then of course they realize. But yeah, they're still looking to get free stuff. And so I wanted to kind of hit on these things because I think it's a problem in this community. And backtracking, rewinding back to Blackwater Media, I want to say something about content creators. There are people who, of course, focus their content creation on YouTube, and that's fine. There are other people who, like Blackwater, is migrating away from YouTube because, we've already had a little conversation about, how YouTube has just, maniacally, they demonetize things and they make it just about impossible for a large number of content creators to keep their operation financially viable. I once did a show called Agenda Earth with another gentleman, and we would notice, and this has been a couple of years, we would notice, we'd do a show and get 30,000 views and do another show and get like 400 views. A week later, YouTube was playing with the algorithms. They were playing with the numbers to make the show not financially stable. However, I am happy to say that Agenda Earth will be coming back. I had several people on YouTube ask me about, is it coming back? Agenda Earth is coming back. Full force, full power, unedited, uncensored, because we won't be doing it on YouTube. Agenda Earth will be a part of the VIP lounge. It will be accessible to Swamp Hunter Society members. Because like I said, it'll be unedited. It'll be uncensored. And just like, if somehow out there online you find an episode of Agenda Earth floating around, listen to it. It's funny. It's interesting. It's intense. And it is absolutely raw. And, it's some dork working at YouTube/Google, can't handle it, when they hear one of us on Agenda Earth, say shit or goddamn, and they just lose their mind. Well, those days are over for Blackwater Media. Okay, what else? I'm going to try to get a story out today, a premium content story for the VIP lounge. I have several stories that are out of the writing phase and ready to go into the recording phase. So when we're finished here, I'm going to go do kind of a sound effects research gambit and try to get that out. My goal is to do a Saturday night story release. Now, of course, the preview for this new story will be on the Blackwater Media Facebook page. It'll be on the Institute of Metaphysics Facebook page, and it'll be on the Paranormal Society Exchange Facebook page. I was going to get to this. I had it in my notes to talk about the other Facebook pages because these are all kind of ancillary things. Blackwater Media, most everything that gets put out is going to show up not only on the Blackwater Media Facebook page, it's going to show up on the Paranormal Society Exchange Facebook page, it's going to show up on the Institute of Metaphysics Facebook page, and it's going to show up, if it's Dogman related, it will show up on the Dogman Odyssey Facebook page. Now, a lot of Blackwater fans love the Dogman stories, which is in part why I made the Dogman Odyssey Facebook page. If you're into Dogman, I really encourage you to go over to the Dogman Odyssey Facebook group, join up, post comments, like it, share it, and add your voice to the excitement of that particular group. Okay, so let's see, what else? Is there anything else? I just want to thank everybody. The people, I complained a lot about, kind of the freeloaders. So let me thank a lot of the supporters, the well-wishers, the people who encourage me, people who are actually fans, and they listen to all the content, and they always anticipate new things. I hope you guys enjoy the Dr. William Lester Show anthologies. That's anthology 1 and 2. And I hope you like the Shadowland Radio Show anthologies, which is 1 and 2. Also, again, for you Dogman fans, go over to blackwatermedia.net. If you haven't heard this, I'm telling you, it's a Saturday afternoon. Make yourself a drink. I'm telling you, go over there on the left, where the menu is. Look for where it says anthologies. It'll say anthologies, free content. When you click on that, you'll see one of the anthologies is a Dogman Terror anthology. Okay? You'll love it. I promise you. Go check it out. All right. So, I'm going to stop there. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Remember, blackwatermedia.net, $4.99 a month. Get your Swamp Hunter Society membership. News stories, the Tomorrow Towers, the Fluttering of Wings, Stay Out of the Woods. Listen to the previews on the website. My Uncle and the Dogman, The Summer Garden, That's No Dog Print, and the Fluttering of Wings. I'm going to go and get to work on the new story. So I'll see you guys next time on Swamp Chat.